Satchidanandamurtaye Nisprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Niralambaya Tejase Niralambaya Tejase. Welcome everyone. Monday meditation. It's always meditation. Everything we're doing is meditation. All the intelligence of the body coming together with the heart, the spirit, the mind. So just tuning into the natural state of being. You're already perfect. You're already divine. You're already a genius. There's just that in-between mind. Just noticing, how are you feeling? Where are these feelings in your body? You can just make a nice releasing, relaxing, rejuvenating, getting younger. Just feel that wave of peace in the tambura. Breathing through the nose. Fresh oxygen, fresh prana coming in. Relaxing the tyranny of the mind. Whatever story you might be telling that's causing you pain or frustration, just poof, release that story, not working for ya. Come back to the pure I am story. The good news that's been since forever. The changeless I amness. Always observing. Like a holographic spiritual being that we are, fully empowered. Every power in the known universe, that would be you, right? Just noticing this. Relaxing from the surface layer, dropping back down a little deeper. Under that personal pronoun I that just wants to get in there and mess it all up. Thinks it wants to own everything and control everything. Releasing into that humble feeling. No better place to be than right here. No one better to be than you. Right here now. It's like coming to rest in this moment, breathing through the nose. There are magical things that can happen when we meditate, but to sit around and expect them to happen might be creating some kind of vritti, some kind of agitation. So we just want to be totally at peace with what is. Probably the best definition of healing there is. Right? Just to be able to be totally present with what's going on, totally accepting what's going on. Even if you need to change it, first step, being present with it. It's like the universe got us this far. That bundle of 100 trillion cells, so smart. So many things that could go wrong. So much strangeness in this realm of suffering. But the idea is that there's way more of you that's doing great than is not. So I just want to notice this. Release the focus on whatever's disturbing you. Make your problem not your focus if there's a problem. It's sort of like, don't notice that elephant. Just letting it all just dissolve into pure I amness. If it were all so easy, we'd just get quiet and still and that would be it. But lurking in there, we've done so many things, thought so many thoughts, probably hurt so many people and gotten hurt so many times that whether it's this lifetime or last, or the previous, or the past 15, and if you don't believe in past lives, call it the past 15 generations of all these people doing things, saying things, and then we receive the trickle down. So just being at peace with what's on our platter. Ultimately, it's all mind over matter. People have been asking me about, what do I think about the vaccine? I'm just going to say I'm neutral on that subject because I believe that each person should do what they need to do based on their authority. So if your authority is one way and you're aligned with that, you'll experience peace. But if you're doing something that you don't believe or you're upset about or confused about, that could cause more trouble than the actual thing. So I think the most important idea is whether you get the vaccine or not, or whatever we put in our body, whatever drugs we take, pharmaceuticals, medicines. Ultimately, the universe is responding to you, is how I would phrase it. So, if you present yourself as a neutral, positive, totally balanced being, it's hard for negative charge, accidents, diseases, strange stuff to come in and mess with you because there's no match for it. You're already fine. So that's one way to think. Another way to understand it is that viruses are basically expressions of the body when it's in a toxic state. So if you're not in a toxic state, none of these viruses are activated. We have probably a gazillion viruses in the body, I would think, in the virome, but they're not activated, right? They're just part of the interface between the ecosystem and our environment, or inner bodily environment. So from that point of view, viruses are upgraders, or recalibrators, bringing new information about the latest situation in the environment to keep you updated. So from that point of view, they're not toxic. It's you that might be toxic, right? So call it the confusions or the pollutions in the solutions. Your bodily fluids need to be clean, healthy, dynamic, spiraling, full of the life force. It's hard to get sick if that's the case. You want to maintain that alkalinity. So the best protection against any disease is to be wondrously alkaline. Nothing like a little baking soda. Up that pH. Okay, so 7.2 pH. Just feel that. We're just radiating that, declaring that. When we declare things to the body, it likes to hear these things. Right? It wants to be the good dog, to follow the pack master, pack leader. So we're setting the trend, establishing the milieu, creating a resonant field. A good feeling attracts the healing. Illness clears I always say this backwards, but stillness always clears the illness. When we drop into the viewer and release the doer. So easy. So let's breathe into that. How we sit, how we align ourselves physically matters less than the internal alignment. Right? You could be hanging upside down. You could be sideways. It doesn't really matter if you're in a divine state. Meaning if you're experiencing that peace, your mind is relaxed, brain is relaxed. Dropping into that place. Best done as a kind of softening. Beautiful softening. If you're having harsh thoughts, soften them. If there's a sharp pain in your body, adjust to accommodate. I've spoken before on this idea that the cells are pleomorphic, meaning it's as if they have little fire hydrants in them that you could turn on, and they will spew whatever's going on, right? If you're toxic and sick, they'll spew toxins. If you're feeling fantastic, your cells will emit anandamides, right? Beautiful feeling chemistry. The mind-body interface is such that mind over matter will create these chemicals. So illness is a kind of state where we're spewing toxicity. So we want to regulate that, release that, remove that, realign with the spine. Bring this homeostatic equilibration back to balance. All organs and glands are communicating. Beautiful peace throughout the body. Let the wave wash through you. Delicious oxygen. Greetings, everyone. I'm just reading what you're writing. Less vrittis, yes. Releasing the vrittis, releasing the turnings and the churnings of the mind. Last time I put these little poems together, which I'll just read you again. There's just a lot in each of these verses. Feelings, metaphysical awareness awakenings with inner waves that reveal and not mists that conceal. Feelings, metaphysical awareness awakenings. M-A-A, Ma. With inner waves that reveal, not the mists, not the confusion that conceals. Link to the light in a standing wave, still wave, motionless, eternal flame presence. Standing wave, healing vector, taking you deeper into the nectar. Revealing more of our inner core and all the goodies we have in store. Multi-dimensional awakening, fullness of being, bakening, metaphysical awareness transmutations, beyond the rational logical limitations. React or be aware. Some things require great care. Emotions, pushing us away from situations, can seem kind of like silly fluctuations. Easy to please with a squish and a squeeze, concealing but not revealing. Energies in motion, Energy's in motion, enhancing the commotion. So we got a little commotion going on with the air purifier. Emotions scatter everything on your platters. Make it seem like nothing matters, as these banditos will steal your chitos. And the eclipse of the self costs you everything else. Why, this hijacking by samskaras might even steal your tomorrows. So we don't want the past to gobble up any more of our goodies. So we just relax the story we're telling. Relax the narrative that keeps circulating. As Byron Katie says, the story we tell is always worse than the reality somehow, right? That fish just gets bigger every time. So I want to release the telling that, I don't know, brings in more suffering usually. So we just go to the story of the pure I am, deep space awareness. You want to be, like my shirt says, heavily meditated. Well, it's backwards probably. I don't know, maybe you can see that. Heavily meditated. That's what we're doing. Dropping into the deep zone. Relaxing the left brain, relaxing the right brain, relaxing the prefrontal lobes. If you have pain in places in your brain, tapping is helpful. It reboots that area, releases you from stress. But the best release is to go metaphysical, in my experience. You just drop to a deeper place of observation and just let the body be. The body will figure itself out. Body intelligence, smartest thing in the galaxy, right? Where else can you find this much intelligence in this big a space that weighs only 3 pounds? Maybe a dolphin brain. We're just going to notice that this supercomputer in our brain is not only a food package, but we're also non-local beings. So from this point of view, the mind is kind of like a 500 channel broadcast that's out there in space. The cosmic mind, the cosmic collective, is full of all this activity. We're part of this giant noosphere. And the brain is probably best described as a kind of television set, right? The receiver is downloading all these signal paths, translating it according to your DNA. I'm just noticing that there's this brain doing its thing. And then we'd have to suggest that if we're talking about our body, there's many, many brains in the body. Every cell has little community organizers. The heart is this unbelievable, radiant electromagnetic field. The gut is the most sensitive part of us in certain ways. The brain's so many endocrine capacities, make any hormone we need. So we have the perfect tool to show up with. This body is such a gift. Let's just thank it. That brings such a good feeling, and the body loves it when you do that, because we don't do this enough. That pure gratitude is this, it's like a feeling of unconditional love, bathing their body. What magic are we? As this 570 trillion megahertz frequency comes in, the color green, 1 trillion cycles a second. And yet we turn it into green. Ding! We're wondrous translators. Just feeling the aliveness in the body. Every cell is a conscious being. In the bloodstream are gazillions of somatids. You can see them in the backfield microscope, these little flashing lights in the body. Some people call them protids. It's like these little fire hydrants I was describing earlier that could download whatever is happening, right? It could flush toxins, it could add toxins, it could do whatever it's triggered to do. But these little beings, different scientists have described them in different ways. The Canadian Nasson describes them as somatids. They're revealed as if you were to cremate your body down to just ash. These are little markers that have the history of everything you've ever done. It's sort of like secret tapes. Your body's linking to the Akashic records. So everything is recorded in this sort of micro seed form in the body. So when you show up again, all that information just, there it is, just unfolds like a computer screen. Subtle energy, integrated state. So you can make the case we're transmigratory from that point of view. Plants are doing it all the time, right? They're going to seed form, they disappear, and then next year there they are again. It's essentially going to seed. It's kind of meditation in a nutshell, right? We're going into this little house, a little seed house in the heart. Kabir, the poet, calls it the apartment in the city of death, because it's on fire and the body's burning up, right? Eventually it will be gone. So our temporary abode is an apartment in the city of death. And yet here we are, alive, within that strangeness. Let's say it seems to work because we're eternal beings, otherwise. So just notice the eternal seeds of you. Feel this eternal seed form. It's like you can't go wrong. A meteorite could crush us, burn us to complete toast, and you would still poof, reboot. It's like those Mad Magazine guys, they keep getting run over by steamrollers and they just sort of like pop back up. The eternal coyote falling to his death. Meanwhile, Roadrunner continues on, and yet the coyote returns. Right? Life regenerates. From this point of view, there's no death. And if we can perceive that, we have no problem. Everything seems to have it. Every problem is rooted in fear of death, fear of loss. But if there's nothing to lose, except your body, except a temporary mental state, you will regenerate. So even worst case scenario ain't so bad. And if that's the case, it's easier to be, right? If worst case scenario is no problem, then we can go deeper past these elemental fears, deeper into the pure I amness. Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha, as the Patanjali Sutras. First sutra about squashing the vrittis of the mind, suppressing the substance of these agitations, so that the deep self is revealed. That's it. That's yoga in seed form. All the Hatha Yoga, Sun and Moon postures, is all to purify the body so the mind becomes still. And with that attainment, it's like you're intergalactic at that point, right? Nothing can stop you. You're sort of beyond the limitations of the karmas, the prabdha karma, which sort of gives us our body, like the 20% that is unnegotiable. Right? It's the ancestral portfolio that sort of dumped on us. Or maybe you could say we chose for this incarnation. And that 80% choice menu, right? All these possibilities you have. Let's just run those for a minute. We're usually focusing on things like what we don't want, what we can't have. It's negative charge prevails. But if we go neutral positive, start to focus on what you want, it starts to happen really fast. And if you're consciously asking the invisible world, whether it's star visitors, angels, gurus, saints, your deep self, these guys will respond. This seems to be happening more and more noticeably for everyone, that, wow, look, I just conjured up this idea and then poof, wow, it happened. It's like things are popping, right? More celestial energies coming in, more biophotonic resonance seemingly in the universe, photon belt, however we understand, more light coming in. This evolutionary point in time, Aquarian energies. We're just done with stupidity, might be one big vector, right? There's just a lot of stupid stuff. Doesn't need to be. And so when we get peaceful and aligned, it's really obvious. So one of the problems I think people have with meditation is they're already too harsh on themselves, and so they're kind of an overly strict taskmaster, and they're torturing themselves even while they're meditating. So softening. Whatever level that means for you. If you're overly intellectual, relaxing brain. If you're overly emotional, just dropping into your heart. And if you feel a lot and you don't know what's going on, bless your gut. What's what? And then singing, chanting. One of the best ways to soften, opening the heart, softening the edge of the brain, of the mind. Stringer when Kirtan was first hitting the world 20 years ago. Maybe not first hitting the world, but lots more people were doing it, traveling around and singing. And this is his version of Devakinanda Gopala. Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya. Govinda Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Just getting in touch with the breath. Just notice what it's doing. How deep does it come in? How quietly does it go out? Sometimes when we meditate, we don't need to breathe that much. Right? We're so quiet and so still. The prana is stabilizing itself in the Sushumna channel. Right? That's why yogis can bury themselves in a box for 3 days and be fine, right? Because they don't really need to breathe that much if they're that still. But let's power up with some more prana shakti. And one way to do that is literally we just want to suck in a lot of prana. We want to use the diaphragmatic muscles, get it deeper past the chest limitations, right? So instead of just kind of going, you go, and hold, and release slowly. It's a great thing to do before you meditate. But also once you've meditated or once you're quieted down, it's like you come to a stronger place with it where you can, it's like jump on the shuttle between airports, right? You got to one airport, now you can speed over to the other just because it's sort of set up for that at that point, right? You're already that quiet and you can just take in another mighty blast of oxygen and then you're really shimmering with light. So the light coming in, the oxygen coming in, the carbon dioxide going out. This is kind of what the ocean is doing, right? With the carbonates, with oxygen, with sunlight, with carbon dioxide, with salt, right? That's why seashells are made from sodium bicarbonate. Right? This is the ultimate alkaline agency. So in a sense, we're alkalinizing by oxygenating, right? 90% of the power of the body comes from the oxygen. Basically, the brain and the gut steal most of that. So let's power up. Here we go. Breathing through the nose, exhaling to get ready. And powering up. And hold, and slow release. Let's do another one. You can be mighty, you can really pull that in and hold it. How often do we do that? And then release slowly, like you're pinching a balloon. Let's do one more. 3 is always good. Super person. Hold it. And release. And just normal breath in, just feel the glide ride, feel how smooth that feels. The body loves it. Your organs and glands are smiling. Happy guys. Thank you guys, we love you. Kidneys, bladder, working so hard. Liver, gallbladder. Fire up that wood principle, get your businesses going. Energizing your situations. Anything stuck, blockage, delete. Just call in the drone strikes on the obstruction. Literally, mind over matter. All right, just use your thoughts to sculpt, create, educate, organize, recognize. Mind can drive us crazy, but mind is also a very profound tool. It's one of a purified mind. And our ego is not such a bad thing if it's purified, right? It holds us all together, keeps us focused, aligned, makes you feel good about yourself, confidence. So we're not down on anything, right? All of these parts of their body, all these tendencies, all these capacities we have are there for your benefit. It's just how we want to roll it. And so from this point of view, there's a quiet meditation where we get really still and tune in. And once we've done that, then we notice meditation is always happening. Everything you're doing is a stream of flow. And these choices are being made, edited, aligned with, in the same way that your body is making high-speed choices as you become very still. So we're linking this stillness universe with the active universe. So we get the unity and diversity, diversity and unity, beautiful alignment. That way you can arc into any energy you want. If you want to just go peaceful and just drop out of the thing, poof, you're gone. You want to totally engage, fire things up, get things going, poof, you're there. Right? It's that down the middle, alignment, refinement, symmetry, golden mean ratio. Good feeling attracts the healing. Shankara Shekara Harabam Harabam Bam Bam Bolo Bhava Bhayankara Girija Shankara Dimmi 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 Takanantana Kelo Shankara Shekara Harabam Harabam Bam Bam Bolo Bhava Bhayankara Girija Shankara Dimmi 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 Kanantana Kelo Shivaya Parameshvaraya Shashi Shekaraya Namo Bhavaya Shivatandavaya Shivatankaraya Namo Hara Shiva Shankara Shankara Shekara Harabam Harabam Bam Bam Bolo Bhava Bhayankara Girija Shankara Dimmi 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 Takanantana Kelo Shivaya Parameshvaraya Shashi Shekaraya Namah Abhavaya Shankaraya Shiva Tandavaya Namah Hare Shiva Shankara Shankara Shekara Harabam Harabam Bam Bam Bolo Baba Bayankara Girija Shankara Dimi 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 Kanandana Kelo Shekara Harabam Harabam Bam Bam Bolo Baba Bayankara Shankara Dimi 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 Takanam Tanakelo Shivaya Parameshvaraya Shashi Shekaraya Namah Hari Om, Hari Om. Hope you enjoyed the journey today. Meditation is always good on every day. The deeper we drop, the deeper we pop. And it just don't stop. Hari Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Blessed are we. Namaste, everyone. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this and shining it out to the world, because it seems like the world really needs it. So namaste. And if there's any healing requests, I'll take a look at them and send them to you telepathically. So the session's not over. I'll be checking in. So if there's anything you need right now, just type it in and namaste. All right, have a beautiful day.